Bones are amazing things. They hold us up, they support us, they make us strong. But bones have other uses. In the past, bones were thrown by diviners, seeking out the mysteries of the future. Now the bones are cubes, made of plastic or resin, but they still reveal things to us. As they fall from our fingers and rattle across the table, the story becomes clear. Welcome to Bone Throwers Theater, an RPG actual play podcast.
Welcome back to Bone Throwers Theater. I'm Jeff.
I'm Johnny.
I'm Aaron.
I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Jordan. And we just wrapped up our prologue to the new campaign. It ended on a bit of a dark note.
A bit. As soon as we ended, we're like, I think that beats Dran Renner from Terra Proximus.
Yeah. That was really dark.
We all just kind of sat around just staring at each other for a few moments, just like,
And Aaron was grinning like a fool.
So, when we started building these characters, I've been really getting a feel for Sam. I've been like...
I don't know if you want to relate to Sam that much, though.
But no, I mean, like, I've just been getting an idea of what I want. Like, I really feel this character. And this character's goals. And so I'm not going to lie, I've been really getting excited about this.
So, like, for Brother Benedict, he was a very optimistic character going, pretty much all the way through. He had some down moments, but he always found a way to be optimistic again.
Yeah.
How do you think that Sam compares to Brother Benedict? Just now having a chance to run a session with this character.
I think Sam is less afraid to get things done.
In a very gray moral kind of way.
Yeah.
Gray.
I guess the morals don't matter as much to Sam. I'm not going to say she doesn't see people as people, but she doesn't see people as a wholly...
Valuable thing?
Yeah. The innate value in people as much. And she has worked in teams in the past because she worked as part of the core, but she just doesn't... A little bit more self-serving. And if there's no value added, she has a harder time...
accepting the person as is.
Yeah.
Okay. And that seems to be a very different character from the rest of the group that we built.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I think that, like, for example, Jerr Lan, I feel is a very calm character, but has he really does see the intrinsic value in other people so far.
Yeah, well, that's what he's been working on for the past 200 years, is helping others out.
Yeah, and Chime, that's pretty much his job.
That is his job, is to help other people.
And Julian, well, he's suspicious of elementals, but...
He wants to save people from elementals.
Right.
Yeah.
So, the only one who really... human life doesn't really matter that much. That's Sam.
I thought that was interesting, too, when we first started and Jordan was playing as Shade. Pretty much, there was, like, no conflict or no back and forth between Shade was pretty much describing humans as meat bags.
Yeah.
And Sam was like, yeah.
Yeah. So Sam is very dependent on Shade's good opinion.
They're a little bit toxically codependent.
Yes.
Codependent?
I think yeah, if you look at their goals, their goals are very codependent.
Even Shades with Sam is the only person who can get me to where I'm going, more or less.
Yeah. So
currently.
Yeah.
The question is why is Sam the only person that can...
That's a good question.
Yeah.
That's a very good question.
Is it because Sam only has one D in willpower? Possibly.
It's very likely.
But also, Shade wants to keep Sam alive. Yeah. So Shade has some very codependent issues with Sam for whatever reason, but we don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas we have a totally different relationship with a proxy in terms of Jerr Lan.
Try no relationship almost at all.
Relationship, but it's
I think there is a relationship. I just think that
Jeff hasn't flushed it out.
no, I don't necessarily think it's even that. I think that it's the difference between like having a co-pilot and having a spirit guide.
Yeah.
You know, and that also speaks to the different philosophies that elementals might have within themselves.
Right. Like the changes that Jerr Lan has experienced have been more on the subconscious level.
Yeah.
Rather than the conscious, like Sam.
Yeah. And there's a cat. What did you think of the cat?
The cat, as soon as you said the cat, I immediately went back to Angel's Guard with Demetrius, and there's a cat. And I was like, uh-oh, what's up with the cat? The cat has a side quest for you.
I kick the cat.
I throw it into the field. Push you.
That's already wrong. That cat was actually a shapeshifter following you all in Angel's Guard.
Really?
Yeah.
I should have thrown it into the field.
This cat is just a cat.
Did we discuss, can elementals bond with animals?
Actually, that is in the microscope session.
Yes.
Because that's one of the possibilities that popped into my mind when Jordan said, and there's a cat. I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Is there going to be an elemental bonded with this cat?
Which, I mean, I would imagine animals, like pets, are pretty rare.
Yeah, I like that you threw it in. It's like, we don't have the proper permits for...
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just, like, thinking, and the government of North Belisira is very...
controlling.
Yeah.
Very restricted.
Yes. Very restricted.
I'm we found out even more about during the campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm imagining there's a bit of a curfew and that kind of thing. Yeah. Fearing for the country's safety, the Centarians began experimental altering of elementals and forcibly bonding elementals to animals.
Ooh. Well, that can get interesting.
Yeah, so that is definitely in the world book.
Yep.
How did you enjoy your characters?
I learned a lot about my character.
Yeah?
Mostly because I had no clue about anything about my character before playing, other than the build.
Yeah.
I didn't know how my character was going to respond to anything, how it was going to respond to Julian's probing and prodding.
Just like Aaron said, I've been like chomping at the bit for this, and I've sent I don't know how many messages to Jordan. It's like, I'm super excited for this. I'm super excited. This is great.
We've been going back and forth about this one.
Yeah, and I think I even said that in our group chat once. Is like, this is the first time that we've, at least for me, have done a lot of character prep going into it. So we can almost, like I think I said, phrase said, hit the ground running or something like with our character, jump right into it.
Yeah.
And we talked about this a little bit in between one of the episodes that for Julian, I was talking with Jeff about how to get into character, and something that I'd done for Angel's Guard is to watch a bunch of episodes of a show that I think encapsulates Grayson's character. So I tried to do the same thing for Julian. And Jeff and I were sitting there brainstorming of what character that might be, and we kind of had a laugh at it in between episodes. That Julian is sort of like a young Fox Mulder from the X-Files. Mm-hmm. He's got his conspiracy theories, and no one likes to hear him, and he does things on his own, and is a little bit reckless at times. And I tried to bring that out a little bit in how I played.
I thought that came out
very,
well.
very matter of the fact. This is the way things are, and even if you don't believe me, yeah, this is the way they are.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of like TV show characters that you think kind of encapsulates your character, for Sam, the one that comes to mind right away to me is Gaius Baltar from Battlestar Galactica. No one's here.
Not familiar with
No,
I've only seen a handful of episodes.
Oh my goodness. Gaius Baltar is someone who is a scientist, and he has this, it's a whole series long arc where he has several rises and falls, but the main thing about him is that he has a Cylon in his brain, a robot in his brain who talks to him at all times and is a very strong influence on his personality.
Okay.
So Gaius Baltar is
very much in my mind. That's kind of where I can see Sam coming from, like this voice that's coming, and the robot in his brain influences him to do some pretty messed up things.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would definitely, if you haven't ever seen the reboot of Battlestar Galactica, the sci-fi series, it was like 4 seasons long, and they're short 12 to 15 episode seasons. I would definitely recommend it.
I'll check it out.
Yeah. Chime is a little bit more interesting of a character to try it in a TV show too.
I don't know what TV show Chime would be a character from. But I found it very difficult to play having a phobia.
Yeah? Like a fear of fire?
Yeah. Like, it's not necessarily a fear of fire, it's specifically a fear of fire elementals.
Mm-hmm.
But his job involves working with them.
Do you think he dislikes his job?
On those days, yes. In general, no, I don't think so, because that's one of his life goals is to help people.
Right.
But I myself, I don't have any phobias.
Uh-huh.
There's things I'm afraid of, but not crippling fear by any means.
Yeah.
And so I find it very difficult to play a phobia of something, especially some of the, like fire, where I'm very comfortable around.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, I mean, like for me, I have a really bad fear of heights.
Yeah.
Like,
see, things like that don't bother me at all.
yeah, no, I'm
You know?
You built... So, your character is essentially me. In real life. If you need pointers on how to play your character, just ask me about how I respond to things. I can tell you all about it.
So that especially for today, where we started off with me interacting with a fire elemental.
Yeah, that just
right into the fire.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's like, how do I keep the balance of keeping the cool for keeping my job, but at the same time, like, showing my character's afraid of fire elementals?
Well, that's something that I'm glad that we jumped into, because it was at first it was a little hard to think of a good starting point for the story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I think this one actually worked really well.
I think it worked well for Johnny's character too, because as we were started off and was like, well, he's actually employed by the military. How is he going to get teamed up with everybody here to do whatever the goal is going to be if he's got this government military job that he's supposed to be doing?
Right.
And that kind of really worked, that to start it off with the fire elemental, that okay, he's going to have to take a leave of absence for mental health kind of thing, and now he's free to go fight fire elementals on his own.
Yeah.
Basically conquer his fear.
Yeah, and basically he comes back and maybe at the end of the campaign is now like, oh, we've got trouble with fire elementals, go to this guy. He's our expert now.
Or you might decide to just leave the military altogether.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Who knows?
They might kick you out, honestly, for
Or
not recovering properly.
Or 2 sessions into it, Johnny's going to have to build a new character. Cause he's
Always a possibility. But that's one of the things I love about role playing. I always role play is the fact that I play the character, but I don't get attached to that character.
Yeah.
Because you never know.
Because you never know when they might die, and you can't be afraid of letting your character die, because sometimes letting your character die is essential to a good story.
We were talking about that with on the way down here with Byram, how he died, and like listening to it, and there were so many plot elements that Byram was specifically tied into, like the girl at Dinsham House.
she just got left.
Yeah, it's just like
we don't know what happened to her now.
Yeah, we don't know what happened, if she ever got away.
She's probably frozen somewhere.
Yeah.
Along with everyone else.
So the fact that the character died,
Not frozen. Burst into flames.
Yeah. A little of both.
but the fact
same
that
time.
the character died, it totally changed where the story was going.
Yeah, right.
And with Joyce Glaive,
And it gave more conflict to each individual character.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and we were talking about that actually in our group chat. It was like when Joyce Glaive comes into this story, there is a lot of animosity towards that guy.
Because of his animosity, everybody's animosity towards him, it also made more tension, but at the same time more unity among the other players.
Right. Yep. Yeah.
It did.
I remember there was one point where I think Grayson said something, and then one by one, everybody was like, "Yep, I agree with him. Yep, I agree with him. Yep." It was like Grayson's like, "What? This never happens."
So like I said, that's why I never get too attached to a single character.
Yeah.
It's because sometimes a death of a main character is an essential plot point.
Yeah.
And I enjoy building new characters. It gives me somebody new to play.
So in other words, Aaron, enjoy Sam.
Yeah.
But
Sam will die.
Not necessarily.
I'm not gunning for Sam. We'll just put it that way. But I wasn't gunning for Byram either. I mean, the way that Byram died is kind of anticlimactic.
Yes, it is.
Right. It's like, and
You died in battle.
all right, you just got stabbed by a sword and 20 points of damage.
It wasn't even It wasn't even a dire fight. It was just like a skirmish with some guards.
Because of a dog.
Yes.
And Benedict hiding in a tree.
But yeah.
Yeah, that was.
So if Chime dies, so be it. I'll have to come up with something new.
I mean, we've already set the stage for there to be some heated conflicts, interpersonal conflicts.
Yes.
Some heated, pun intended, interpersonal conflicts.
Yeah.
Yes.
Some of you might be steaming at the end of the night.
But I always have to look back to it. It's like, if we got through 2 seasons of Terra Proximus and no people actually killed each other, we can do this one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There was some
came
high
pretty close to
tensions in
killing
that
each
one.
other in that one.
Oh yeah.
I think I actually actively encouraged that on a few occasions.
You did.
Yeah.
What was it
It was
like?
beautiful.
You offered hero points to actively attack each other.
After the prologue, first episode, like in the middle of the episode, guns are drawn and every player is pointing at another player character.
Except for me.
Yes, because you were unconscious.
That was not up on
tried
the
to kill
throwbacks.
yourself
I
before
actually
that
have to
even.
go.
That one,
I have to go to the archive.
you have to go to the archive on bonethrowerstheater.com where you can find all of our episodes. And
That's where you can find Terra Proxima.
exactly.
All right, starting tomorrow morning.
Yes.
It is beautiful. Beautiful.
He was asking me about flashback, like doing today as a flashback episode. And I'm like, no, we're probably going to do that in the middle of one of the after you
flashback
have some
episodes are
time to
good
play.
after you know who your character is.
And it'll be very similar to what we did today.
Okay.
And at least from Terra Proximus, that made season 2 so much better.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Because we did season 1, all right, we know who our characters are. Now here's how they got there.
Yeah.
And now we have some.
Kind of like if you ever watched Lost, it's that Lost kind of introduces you to the character, but then you've never seen.
He never enjoyed it.
All right. So for the rest of you,
I watched the first 2 episodes and got bored.
But what Aaron's talking about is as the story goes along, they show flashbacks of things that happened in their past that pertain to the storyline of what is going on. So it builds the character, and deepens their personality.
I have a problem
your
with
understanding
the
of who
premise
they
of
are.
Lost
okay.
Well, the premise
as a ongoing series.
the premise of Lost was
Yeah, it worked as the miniseries it was originally supposed to be.
Yes.
So I never finished it. I watched the first 3 seasons and then I stopped. I got bored. So
I'm the only one that finished it then.
yeah, maybe season 4.
I never watched
stopped.
the last season.
Anyway, we're off topic.
Yeah.
So anyway, but yeah, that's the general idea is that you go through, you play a season, and then you do flashbacks. I don't think flashbacks would have worked for Angel's Guard.
No.
Just because the way that that campaign was set up. But since we went back to how we set up Terra Proximus with this one, I think it's going to work just fine. But I'm going to try and pull the same episode style, the same adventure writing style that I used in Angel's Guard. I'm going to pull that into this.
Okay.
Because I felt really comfortable with how that worked, and I never felt like I was reaching for stuff. And today I did feel like I was reaching a little bit for stuff.
Well, this is more freeform. What are your ideas? What do you want to do?
Yeah.
Where do you want to start? Kind of idea. Which, at the beginning, it did feel kind of like, all right, where do we start?
Yeah.
but
Once we found the
like how
starting point,
it started. Yeah, once we figured out that starting point, I like how the pieces started.
I was thinking about
mesh.
how hard your job is going to be for this campaign, because the world we came up with, it's very open-ended world.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I almost was tempted to have you guys be random passengers on the train.
Yeah.
And then have like a did you see the Murder on the Orient Express?
No, I haven't
Yeah.
seen the new one.
Yeah, the new one is really good.
It is really good. It's very well done.
I want to see it, but I haven't seen it.
But it's like that kind of story. It's like all of these people are thrown together and they basically have to figure out what happened, like in this group.
Yeah.
So I almost did that where you guys were on a train together and then like a terrorist organization or something took over and then we've gone from there. But that would have been a lead into pretty much the meta plot of the story right
Yeah.
away.
Right.
So I'm glad that we did it this way and just left it free form.
I thought you got to really see. I mean, at least we tried to, and I think we did a pretty decent job of showing who the characters were and what they were,
What their lives are like before.
what their
the
lives are like, and what they're mainly about, what they're mainly focused on before there is hey, everybody work together on this.
Yeah, a large existential threat.
So like, today was sort of the flashback episode.
It was. Yeah, it's a
Sort of.
prologue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's like that one episode that's really awkward because everyone's being introduced.
yeah, that's,
Yeah.
it's the pilot
That's what
episode.
it is.
Hi, my name's Sam. What's your name?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
can-
as awkward as those points are, I think they work for the beginning of the
Yeah.
story.
Oh yeah.
Because you're awkward in a relationship at the very
Like the ending of Julian and Sam's conversation was pretty awkward because they didn't know where else to go
It's like,
with it.
okay.
But that opened the door for future interactions and also suspicions on both sides.
Correct.
Let me ask you this: going off these characters now, what do you think you want to see from the campaign? Like, do you want something that's more of a mystery-oriented type of thing? Do you want like episodic adventures? Do you want?
I don't think episodic
Not
adventures
with
are the way to
where
go.
our characters mesh.
Yeah, we would have to.
So you're looking for?
I like the big story idea.
Yeah, big story.
Which
If we were already a pre-arranged group, then episode might work. But
Yeah.
if you
There are still ways we could go that way, but it would be tough.
it
would be tough.
could.
but yeah.
For me, and this is just basically purely on what I end up watching, as far as TV shows and movies, is I want a big story, not just little tiny stories here and there.
X-Files was very episodic.
At times,
It had the underlying story.
Especially starting out the first season.
Well, every season was very episodic. It just had its underlying story the entire time.
But you got less of that underlying story during the beginning of the
and
season.
to me, as much as I like X-Files, unless it was one of the episodic episodes that had so much of a theme or quirk to it, I would forget it and would be just, all right, let's get back to the main story.
Is there a list of all those episodes?
Has anyone noticed that this man's shoes are untied?
So
Yeah.
we're talking about a big story here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seemed like one of the things that kind of resonated here was the theme of the fire elementals being.
Well, I mean, yes, that's just random happenstance of having two characters that have issues with fire elementals.
Right.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be, but that's
Right.
the easy pickings because two characters have already.
Yeah.
Like, season
Already
one
leaning
could
that
be
way.
just immediately tied to his plot of hunting on this arsonist.
Yeah, actually, I was thinking
You know?
that was a very good in.
Yeah. It even could be not just fire elementals, but elementals in general coming from that mountain range. Where that first one.
Yeah.
the
Honestly, I just
soldier-
did that because I was like, all right, let's show Julian as a private investigator.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Or
mean,
he has to have something to invest.
actually, that would work. It would be a warful contingency of rogue elementals.
Okay, that's an idea.
That are jumping the gun on the big blood.
That's starting the war between everybody. Yeah. Because that's the era we're in.
Well, the way the era reads is the commons have started.
Yeah, the commons. Ooh, rise up.
The commons are trying to get rid of all the proxies.
Yes.
Kind of thing.
But why are they doing it? Maybe it's because there's more and more rogue elementals.
It's a good question. We'll have to work on that.
Yeah.
But
Well, I think it was written in there that they were fearful of the influence that
Yeah,
they
because
had
of
over the humans.
Mm-hmm.
We wouldn't know anything about that.
You're gonna start a war,
I didn't start it.
but you're going to.
He's going to start a war. Sam is going to start a war.
Why would I start a war?
Because you're
Shade's gonna start.
Shade has plans.
Shade has plans.
So let's go ahead and talk about character points. Well, I'm going to go ahead and give you 5 to start off with because this is a prologue.
5 in addition to the 5 we already started with.
Yes.
Yes.
Unless you spent one.
All right.
And then now let's go ahead and talk about role-playing goals, agendas.
Who moved their character forward?
Yeah.
Well, Aaron accomplished one of his goals.
Well,
I wanted to introduce that as one of my goals. The cleaning up after myself. I wouldn't say I'd accomplished anything.
How sanitary you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
well, I mean,
Cleaning up my dirty, dirty past.
I think Julian's goals were pretty prevalent.
They were very prevalent.
The one thing that wasn't prevalent but I alluded to was when Jerr Lan came over and he, before he let him in, shut the door to a
bedroom,
room.
yeah.
That was he was shutting the door to Aylin's room. That actually looks like a child's bedroom rather than the rest of his apartment, which looks like just a disheveled mess of investigation.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I was curious about that.
And that's what you were trying to perceive, I know.
Well, actually, I was going to look around to see all the messy newspaper stacks and all that and be like,
Notice
wow,
that
this
there's
is a
theme.
fire hazard. That's what I was trying to do, but
you didn't
I didn't notice anything.
you didn't ever get to use your abilities as an innate, did you, Chime?
I did use one of them.
I thought
'Cause
you were
my-
going to.
My powers are very passive,
Yes.
so I don't have I don't actively do it. But I did use it once for
On the guy who came in, Pellic.
on Pelic. I tried to use it and I just didn't succeed. So I did very little rolling tonight. My special abilities just gave me a +1 bonus to all my presence rolls and another +1 to charm, con, and persuasion.
Okay.
Because, like I said, they're just extremely passive. It's not even something I consciously do. I just talk to people and it happens.
It feels like all of you you advanced your character for tonight in one way or
Yeah.
another.
Yeah.
Because you learned a lot about your character.
Yeah.
Which was the point,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
So we'll go ahead and give you each another point for that. And rather than have to vote on that.
It's
It's,
not like candy over here.
Yeah, he's going to kill us. That's why. Well,
you can always spend these.
Yeah.
but that's why I was asking about the refresh for the fate points. I'm like, because they're spending the fate points like candy, you know?
I sure did.
That's why I spent one to persuade the one fire elemental to leave. Like, oh, this is something that needs to happen.
What happened to that guy?
He was put in the fireproof room so they can investigate.
Dangling plot point.
You're the only one that knows about that, though.
Yes.
Chime is the only one that knows about
Well, some of the other fire people would have known.
Well, the military
They're
fire
probably in
people.
the
Yeah.
report.
The military
But
fire people do.
I
Well, my-
can't imagine that he was the only civilian fire person that was.
No.
that. No, because there were a couple of
There
them
There were
still
like
at
10
the
of
truck.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So some of the civilian fire people would have
Yeah.
known that. Okay, they apprehended a fire elemental that they
Fire proxy.
yeah, thinking like Julian.
But I'm one of the I'm one of the only people that know that it wasn't the original proxy.
Yeah.
Because I recognized it wasn't Oriel Pellic.
Yeah. Very dead.
But it's also valid that you called it an elemental because I must have missed a conversation about how much the elementals can take over the proxy and literally control action,
Well, typically
words.
they can't. Not to the extent that one.
I mean, that was like
That's-
full on.
Yeah.
That was
it's-
complete possession.
Yeah.
and it was also unwillful bonding.
Yeah, I guess you're right. So.
Well, and then they can be unwillfully bonded. We already talked about
Yeah, we
Right.
did talk about that,
Right.
yes. But that may give them more power
yeah.
over the host.
Correct.
Well, it may depend on if the human bonds the elemental or if the elemental bonds the human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because in that case, the elemental bonded the human.
And that may change things too.
So it could actually be a battle of
Yeah.
wills.
Yeah, think about that.
Well, yes, and also that I realized that there are actually 2 killings. Sam just outright murked.
Justly.
Like, yes, but Julian was a mercy killing
Yeah.
of Pelic.
Yeah, there was that.
Yeah.
Role playing tonight was all role playing.
Well, yeah.
So let's talk about Jeff's favorite thing.
He's been waiting
Yes.
impatiently.
The snack was incredible. I was having like a conniption over how good the food was.
It was good.
Very, very
Jeff made
good.
these crab, shrimp, bacon stuffed
cheese ball pepper things.
peppers. It was
Oh my
really
gosh.
good.
It was stuffed red peppers with crab dip,
Like I'm salivating thinking
Well, it was
about
like
it.
it wasn't just crab dip. It was like crab,
cheesy crab
shrimp,
dip.
cheese, bacon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all the tasty meat in a vegetable.
chunks of the pepper cut up into it too.
It was very good.
My gosh, it was so good.
Very good. And then Jeremy made
Oh, those
onion
were so
bombs.
good too. Oh my gosh.
Onion bombs. I saw this video online and
A tasty video.
sent it to myself so I would remember it. And then the next day, I saw Jeff post it or comment on it, and I immediately text Jeff and was like, "Dibs."
He did. I remember. He was like, "That video you just posted, dibs." I was like, "Oh, okay then."
It is basically
It's like
meat, like hamburger meat, like a meatball that has onions, breadcrumbs, barbecue sauce.
Habaneros.
Well, I
You put
put
habanero barbecue
I put
sauce.
habanero barbecue sauce rather than just regular barbecue sauce, stuffed in one of the layers of an onion, and then wrapped in bacon, and that's baked
yeah,
was
until
so
that
good.
bacon is like
really
crisp.
crisp. That would have been really good in a smoker.
Yes, it would have been really good in a smoker.
As I was putting this together, I had a lament for 3 days of barbecue.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
I was like, "Oh, this would be really good on the grill."
Yes.
Johnny had
Strawberry watermelon.
Homemade sorbet.
Yeah, homemade
It was
sorbet.
very good.
That was very
That
good.
was, yeah.
With some ginger in it too.
Yeah, a little bit
Ginger,
of ginger and
lemon.
mint.
Ginger, lemon, and mint. Quite
Aaron
delightful.
brought.
Aaron slummed it. With,
Aaron brought the disappointment.
Yogurt pretzels are all gone.
Yeah,
So
we-
so are the cupcakes.
But I feel like the pretzels were gone because they were there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it
that's
was
true.
like those.
If there was another pepper, because I kept
Yeah.
looking over for more peppers.
And if we did not allocate, okay, we're gonna have 2 onion bombs. I think they would have been like, "Nope, this is mine."
I think there are two. There were
There's
two
one
left,
left, yeah.
and I took GM's prerogative. I grabbed another one.
Probably be the GM with food.
Hey,
I didn't offer it to him.
I totally.
He doesn't get a vote anyways, unless
Yeah.
it's time. At which, remember that if there's a tie, remember the 3rd onion ball.
I totally stole the idea of voting on snacks from that Munchkin card.
Oh yeah, I know.
It's like bribe the GM with food, and it works. You guys typically have a pretty good snack game. And I brought along some Old Bay flavored cheese balls.
Which were pretty tasty.
They were pretty good. We have like 3/4 of the barrel left. It was
It's a big barrel.
They don't sell them in like small bag
they
size.
don't.
It's like you've got to buy it in bulk.
And you have to buy
Big boy
2 gallons
sizes.
of it or nothing at all.
Yeah. So since it's around the summer start, I'm sure we're going to be carting the balls places, so that they can get munched on.
Best snack.
My vote's not for the balls.
Which balls?
My vote, it has to be for the pepper, because even like 3 hours later, 4 hours later, I keep looking over wanting another one.
Well, you were talking about going to the store
Just so I could have
to
more.
get some more peppers.
I thought the
Yeah.
peppers, and I said this while I was eating it, and I had to go back to it. I thought the peppers would have been better with green peppers. I just like green peppers a little bit better. So, I mean,
get that.
they were still outstanding. Every time I bit into the pepper, it's like, oh, what if this was a green pepper? How much better it could be.
It was a good lunch, though.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, that's my vote is peppers.
I'm torn.
I'm torn too.
Do I vote for cupcakes or do I vote for pretzels?
No, I'm torn because I really, really like the onion bombs. My wife has made them before.
I said this earlier when we were eating them that it would have been better if you had like put like a cube of cheese in the middle of it.
Next time.
Yeah. But the peppers were phenomenal.
I was eating both of them together. I was like taking a bite of one and then taking a bite of the other, and just like.
Was it a good combination?
Yes, actually, I saved a little bit of cheese for my meatball, and yeah, it went really well.
It was so. Oh my gosh, it was so good.
So my vote's for the pepper. Definitely for the pepper. Wait, did you vote pepper?
For pepper? No.
What did you vote?
You didn't vote yet.
I hadn't voted yet.
You're a pepper.
I want pepper.
Wouldn't you like to be a pepper too?
If it were green pepper, he would have been pepper.
Yeah. I honestly, I don't know what to vote for. I came here thinking it's like the onions are going to be great, and then Jeff's peppers were outstanding, and then Johnny had his homemade sorbet, which is very good. And before we got here, and then when I was in the store, I was like, should I get some covered pretzels? Because I'm really craving those.
There's nothing wrong with covered pretzels.
No.
Yeah, no.
No. They were very tasty.
All right, I will go with the peppers as well.
So 3 for peppers.
I'm gonna have dreams about it. both things. I'm gonna have dreams about
Yeah.
it.
So it sounds like peppers won.
Yep.
Woohoo!
That's the thing about having a Maryland podcast. If it has crab in it, it's going to wind up on the show.
Yeah.
That was a very hard thing last night when we were buying the crab meat.
Because
The Maryland crab.
Maryland crab was like super expensive. It was like $34 for like a half a pound.
Because it takes like 34 crabs to get half a pound
But
of
the crazy
Maryland
is,
crab meat.
the guy at the meat counter, he's like, yeah, they just raised the price on this like 2 weeks ago. I'm like, of course they did. That's when crab season started.
Well,
Because that makes sense.
No, but part of the issue, and to get into Maryland politics, they changed the laws for migrants to come in and actually clean the crabs.
Clean the
because
crabs, yes.
They were bringing kids in from like Russia and Eastern Europe who were coming in for the summer, working at Ocean City and also picking the crabs for like super cheap.
Super cheap.
And so
Super cheap.
they changed the laws about that. So
Yeah. I know. That's the real reason.
Yeah.
That picked crab meat went up.
yeah,
But
Well, in
it's
which case, I'm okay with that.
yeah, because.
My wallet's not. But
People should
Yes.
be paid a fair wage. You know, let's just be honest about that. Anyway, not to get too deep into old Nine State politics,
I just find it ironic that the price raised right as crabbing season starts.
yeah.
Yeah. There's more crabs available now, so we're gonna raise the prices.
I mean, before we were just getting imitation crab meat, so
Or Louisiana crabs.
Yes, Louisiana crabs, which is where these ones came from. We eat today.
oh well.
They're still blue crabs. They're just not Chesapeake blue crabs.
We got less pollution. So
Exactly. The pollution adds flavor.
We should open up a fish farm just specifically for crabs.
Call it that. The pollution adds flavor.
Toxic adventure crabs.
Just called PAF.
Yeah. What's PAF stand for? Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
All right. Well, thank you so much for listening. We've been talking about it again today, and someday we'll actually commit to this. But there needs to be a Bone Throwers cookbook because you guys have to try what we eat.
So good.
And with that, we will say goodbye. Thank you for listening to Bone Throwers Theater. Our cast is Aaron, Jeff, Jeremy, Johnny, and Jordan. We are releasing this podcast under a Creative Commons Attribution, Non-Commercial, No Derivatives 3.0 Unported license. That means that you can share the podcast, but please do not modify it or try to gain financially from it. If you would like to visit our website, you can do so at bonethrowerstheater.com. If you would like to send us an email, you can do so at bonethrowerstheater@gmail.com. Our Twitter handle is @bonethrowerstheater, and also you can look us up on Facebook. And until next time, may the bones fall ever in your favor. This has been a Nerd Circle podcast production.